This is United Network News with Sunny Galt, Calen Gipp, Kimberly Gogan, and our field messengers from around the world. Here's today's real news. It's Wednesday, October 29th, 2025, and here are today's stories. For millions living with disabilities, getting from point A to point B shouldn't feel impossible, but it does. Kenya's public transport system remains unsafe and inaccessible for many. Despite promises of reform, will a new law finally bring change? From crumbling roads to outdated signals, the state is taking action. New Jersey is rolling out a major transportation upgrade that could make your daily commute safer and smoother. We'll show you what's changing and when you'll see results. Something strange is happening on YouTube. Creators' faces are smoother, colors more vibrant, and no one knows why. Now we've learned artificial intelligence is quietly altering videos without users' consent. What does this mean for trust online? Mysterious lights streaking across the night sky spark wonder and sometimes worry. From satellites to space debris, we'll explain what's really up there and whether any of it could come crashing back to Earth. What's in your seafood might surprise you. Farm herbicides are flowing into the ocean, building up in fish, like tuna, and in the people who eat them. We'll break down the science and what it means for your dinner plate. And finally, it's sweet, crunchy, and full of protein, but not your grandma's peanut brittle. We'll show you how to make a healthier version packed with organic nuts, seeds, and honey for guilt-free snacking. Kenya's public transport system presents daily challenges for people with disabilities, as it is not designed to accommodate wheelchair users or those with mobility impairments. It remains inaccessible, unsafe, and unaffordable. While a new disability law holds the promise of change, its actual impact remains uncertain. This issue is particularly pressing given the scale of the challenge. According to the United Nations Population Fund, Kenya has nearly 1 million people with disabilities, most of which face significant barriers to transportation. More than 90% of people with disabilities rely on matatus, the minibuses that serve as Kenya's primary mode of transportation. Accessible transport is essential, yet these vehicles are completely inaccessible, lacking ramps, wheelchair space, or accommodations for visual or hearing impairments. The consequences of this exclusion are profound. 2 out of 3 people with disabilities identify transport as their biggest obstacle to opportunity. Without reliable access, they miss work, school, and social life, leaving them further marginalized.
Waiting to be lifted up to board the vehicle and then to be lifted down while alighting, it's very tiresome, and also it lowers somebody's esteem.
Nothing, zero.
There's nothing that's changed. Getting on a public bus is very difficult, almost impossible for someone with a severe disability. Maybe people with some capacity can board it with a bit of help. But when you have a severe disability like myself, boarding a public transport bus is almost next to impossible.
In addition to the physical challenges, stigma creates another layer of difficulty. Despite Kenya's legal and policy advancements, many individuals with disabilities often face unfair treatment, such as bus drivers refusing service or passengers making rude comments. This stems from a lack of awareness about disability issues, perpetuating a hostile and unwelcoming environment for those who rely on public transport. Amid these challenges, individuals like Daniel Gatura are creating solutions. Inspired by personal experience, he founded Ace Mobility in Nairobi in 2021 to provide accessible transport for people with disabilities. The vehicles are modified with ramps and swivel seats, and users can book rides through the Ace Mobility app. The company's drivers are also trained as caregivers, ensuring respectful and appropriate assistance. However, accessibility comes at a cost. The service is about 30% more expensive than regular ride-hailing options and significantly pricier than public transport. This makes it unaffordable for many, even though it offers the convenience of door-to-door service.
The same challenge I saw at home with my dad was the same challenge I faced at work, where people with reduced mobilities used to request for vehicles, and most drivers used to turn them down. And when then I got the ride request, they were amazed by how willing I was to offer that extra needed support and how patient I was even with them. And so that then informed what Ace Mobility is right now, where the driver becomes your caregiver, and so they are able to walk with you to the exact floor or building you're going to. And so there's that particular extra touch. And then, so now what happens is there's longer wait time for us.
Promising initiatives like Nairobi's bus rapid transit system aim to bridge this gap, designed with features like ramps, level boarding, tactile paving, wheelchair spaces, and audio announcements. The system could transform accessibility. However, delays caused by funding issues, contractor setbacks, and budget cuts have stalled progress. Groups like the United Disabled Persons of Kenya and Flown Initiative work to make public transportation in Africa safe and accessible for women, youth, and people with disabilities. They do this by training transport staff, marking priority seating, and advocating for policy enforcement.
The New Jersey Department of Transportation has launched a statewide improvement program, which includes the installation of new traffic lights. UNN Field Messenger Amy has the details.
Hi, Amy reporting for UNN from Denville, New Jersey. And today I would like to share with you the new signal lights that are going up in my area. The New Jersey Division of Transportation is responsible for maintaining and operating the state's highway and public road system to ensure safe and efficient operation of New Jersey's transportation infrastructure. Currently, the New Jersey Department of Transportation is implementing a 10-year plan that began in 2020 called the Statewide Transportation Improvement Program. Halfway into the implementation of this program, I am seeing the changes in my area. This project was initiated from the pavement management system and will resurface this roadway, which is Route 53, along with signal improvements and pedestrian facilities upgraded, like curb ramps being replaced by the American with Disabilities Act compliant curb ramps. What interested me today was the improvements to the signal lights. Originally, traffic was monitored by placing these rope light detectors across a roadway and the information collected in this little box. These upgraded signal lights have radar detection units up on this pole. I was told that they are not recording license plates or tracking vehicles, just detecting the number of vehicles. A computer program within these boxes will be able to detect cars on the side streets or pedestrians if they push the pedestrian button. This is good because if there are no cars on these minor side roads, the light will remain green to keep traffic flowing on this major roadway. When cars are detected on side roads, the radar will send this information to the computer, which will then change the signal light from red to green, allowing the cars on the side road to go. This is great, especially on weekends when there is less traffic on Route 53 and you have to wait a long while at red lights if you are on a side road. The electrical boxes are also being upgraded with auxiliary generators that can run on batteries. So if the city power goes out, the generator will provide power to the signal lights to keep the roadways safe. I noticed these new poles are set back from the roadway a little more, as sometimes trucks go over the curb when they are turning, so extra room is a good idea. The new signal lights also extend further over the roadway, so they are easily seen. You can see the new lights are covered with black plastic bags until the old signal lights are removed and the project on this roadway is complete. 6 months ago, you could see people working diligently on this project. The signal light work seems complete to me, as there haven't been any workers actively doing anything that can be seen for at least 4 months. Not sure when the plastic bags will be removed and the signal light improvements revealed. Thank you for watching. See you next time.
Something strange is happening on YouTube. Faces look smoother, skin tones pop, hairlines and fabric textures seem too crisp, like someone ran a beauty filter over reality itself. Recently, YouTube confirmed what many had already suspected. The platform has been using artificial intelligence to quietly alter videos uploaded to its platform. The problem is creators didn't ask for these changes. They didn't even know it was happening. YouTube didn't tell anyone, but creators started noticing something seemed off, like reality had been hit with a subtle AI filter. After some digging and a lot of double-checking their own videos, it came out that YouTube had quietly been enhancing certain shorts without asking or giving creators a heads up. For most viewers, it might fly under the radar, but for some people who live in every frame of their own videos, it feels uncanny, like looking at a slightly polished digital version of yourself. And beyond the odd aesthetic, there's a bigger question. If a platform can tweak your content behind the scenes, even just a little, who's really in charge? You or the algorithm?
Okay, I want you to watch these two videos and tell me if you see the difference between them.
Given to Fly, that's one of your riffs. That has such a unique groove to it. What are you playing on the guitar during that?
Well, I have
I don't even, honestly,
I have to tune it.
What is the tuning of it?
It's Dadgad.
Okay.
So do you see it, or is it just me? Last night, Rick called me and he sent me those two videos and he said, look at this. What do you see? And immediately I noticed one of them looked like an AI deep fake of his short. You can see it in his face, in his hair, in Mike McCready's face, his facial features. It just looks uncanny and weird and fake. It just looks like AI made it, but that's not an AI deepfake. Both of those videos are Rick's videos. One was uploaded to Instagram and one was uploaded to YouTube Shorts. And the one that looks like an AI deepfake is here on YouTube.
The news about YouTube secretly tweaking videos blew up almost overnight. Creators and viewers hit Reddit hard, comparing screenshots, dissecting every pixel, and trading stories about tiny changes in skin, backgrounds, and even facial features. What started as a few suspicious observations turned into a full-on digital detective game. Finally, after weeks of chatter and mounting pressure, YouTube officially confirmed it had been using AI to enhance select YouTube shorts, sharpening and denoising videos. The official statement came after creators called them out publicly, making it clear that this was an experiment rather than a permanent feature, though many creators still have questions about consent and control.
So I don't know if you guys have seen this yet, but YouTube has been using AI to edit users' videos without their knowledge and without their permission. But what is YouTube up to with using AI and machine learning to edit people's videos that they upload without their permission and without their knowledge. It's bad enough that when you scroll through a lot of these apps, you have to watch all this AI-generated content crap anyway. But now to have a company as big as YouTube just editing your video, your art, your creations, without asking you, without your permission, this is going way too far.
The bigger question is why YouTube is doing this, and the possibilities are unsettling. Sure, making videos look sharper and cleaner sounds harmless, but when the platform subtly tweaks reality at scale, it starts to blur the line between what's real and what's AI generated. That's not just a technical curiosity. It could be used in ways that manipulate perception. When every video carries the same polished, algorithmically enhanced look, it becomes easier for misleading or fabricated content to slip through unnoticed, or for audiences to start questioning what's authentic at all. In a world where subtle tweaks can be applied silently, YouTube isn't just improving video quality. It could, intentionally or not, be shaping what millions of people perceive as reality. As of now, YouTube's AI experiment seems to still be running, especially on channels with larger audiences. Creators still don't have an opt-out option, which means videos could be quietly altered at any time without notice or consent. It's a reminder that platforms we rely on aren't always acting in our best interest, and the responsibility to protect your content and your creative voice ultimately falls on you. Stay alert, compare your uploads, and speak up if something feels off.
Tired before the day begins? NAD Plus levels drop 50% after 40. NAD Plus helps your cells bounce back fast. Most supplements give precursors. NAD Plus skips the breakdown, delivering direct, bioavailable power. Support your energy, metabolism, sleep, and stress levels at the cellular level. Join the NAD Plus revolution. Start your journey to a healthier you. Subscribe today.
Hey, I'm Kirsten from Switzerland.
This is Wayne from Tucson.
Hi, my name is Desmond from Ghana.
I am Claudia from Dawsonville, Georgia.
I'm Mikey from Pretoria, South Africa.
Hi, I'm Steve McGrath, Fort McMurray, Alberta, Canada.
People from all around the world are coming together.
Happy day, beautiful world. We are here in a rather small urban garden, and this video is just to show you the joys that we've had in this garden with the electric gardening.
When news happens in their area, they show us what's really going on.
We have people in the streets protesting for and against.
At United Network News, our field messengers are changing the face of news.
This is Field Messenger Helen reporting with Nature, and I'm going to talk to you about the bees again.
Take the next step in restoring our planet. Become a UNN Field Messenger today.
Hi, I'm Stephanie from South Africa. If it's going to be, it's up to me.
If it's going to be, it's up to me.
It's up to me.
It's up to me. It's up to me.
It's up to me.
It's up to all of us. We're UNN, and we're taking back the news.
The sky is full of lights that make us curious, from twinkling stars to streaks of space junk, or even the thought, could that be an alien spaceship? There's always something to spark our imagination. However, most of the time, those moving lights are satellites. But with all that's up there, it makes you wonder, could any of it ever fall back to Earth? Turns out, sometimes it can. We're talking about space debris here, often called space junk. This isn't just old satellites. It's also spent rocket parts and fragments from collisions, all zipping around Earth. These tiny, and sometimes not so tiny pieces, are a pretty big deal because they travel super fast and can really mess up operational satellites, space stations, and even manned spacecraft. When they crash into each other, it just creates more fragments, leading to a chain reaction called the Kessler syndrome. Not good. So what happens when this stuff does start falling? A 2025 study from the University of British Columbia warns falling rocket debris will increasingly cause problems for air travel, such as closed airspaces and delayed flights. While the chance of a piece hitting a plane is still pretty low, the potential impact could be devastating. Researchers found debris could enter airspaces in places like the northeastern U.S., northern Europe, and Asia Pacific as often as 26% of the time each year. And with more rockets launching and more flights, they say this problem is only going to get bigger.
The European Space Agency says for an individual, the chances of being injured by space debris is less than 1 in 100 billion. But despite this, there have been some close calls. Like this one in Florida. In 2024, a piece of debris discarded by the International Space Station 3 years prior crashed through the roof of a home in Naples.
That's definitely man-made.
Yeah, 100%.
NASA said it was part of a 5,800-pound cargo pallet containing batteries that was expected to fully burn up on re-entry. Incidents like these have forced space agencies and companies to re-evaluate re-entry models to better predict whether objects will burn up during re-entry. SpaceX made changes to some expendable components of its Dragon spacecraft after some proved more resilient than expected. The trunk module, which carries unpressurized cargo, is jettisoned before the spacecraft returns to Earth. But there have been instances where parts of the trunk have survived and crashed into the ground, in Canada, Australia, and elsewhere. A roughly 9-foot piece was found wedged in the ground here in New South Wales.
But it's not just rocket parts creating problems. There's also been a lot of talk lately about Starlink satellites, part of SpaceX's huge project to give everyone global internet. While that sounds amazing, launching thousands of these satellites brings up questions about what happens when they die. There are already several Starlink satellites coming back into Earth's atmosphere earlier than planned. While they usually burn up, any bits that do reach the ground could be a safety risk, just like any other falling space junk.
In an unprecedented phenomenon, Starlink satellites, operated by SpaceX, have been experiencing a wave of unexpected falls toward Earth. In January 2025, more than 120 satellites were observed plummeting, raising concerns about the environmental and safety implications of these incidents. According to astronomer Jonathan McDowell, between 4 to 5 satellites are being deorbited daily, burning up as they re-enter Earth's atmosphere. Why are Starlink satellites falling? There are several reasons behind this phenomenon, some intentional, while others are unforeseen. First, the limited lifespan of these satellites. They are designed to operate for 5 to 7 years, after which they are systematically deorbited to disintegrate in the atmosphere. Second, technical malfunctions. Some newer models, such as Vita Mini, have encountered operational issues, leading to premature failures and unexpected falls. Third, solar storms. Increased solar activity affects Earth's atmosphere, creating more atmospheric drag on low-orbit satellites, causing them to gradually lose altitude and fall. Finally, launch failures. Some missions have failed to place satellites in their intended orbit, resulting in their rapid deorbiting and descent toward Earth. Is falling space debris dangerous? Although most Starlink satellites burn up entirely upon re-entry, the sheer number of incidents raises concerns among scientists. There is a possibility that some fragments could survive the burn-up process and fall in populated areas or near critical infrastructure. So far, no serious accidents have been reported, but if this trend continues, it could pose a significant challenge in the future.
And here's another thing to consider when these satellites burn up: atmospheric pollution. Scientists like atmospheric chemist Daniel Murphy are worried when these metals burn, they release tiny particles into the stratosphere. Specifically, aluminum could hang around for years, and potentially damage the ozone layer. Studies using fancier laser equipment have already detected higher levels of metals like lithium, aluminum, copper, and lead up there, way more than what natural meteors would cause. The more we launch into space, the more we have to think about what happens next. With so much space junk floating up there from past launches, it's clear what goes up eventually comes down. Managing this expanding space traffic and debris will be a challenge for the coming decade. Maybe it's time we start thinking about who's responsible for safely cleaning up this mess.
Herbicides from farms are flowing into oceans, contaminating seafood through bioaccumulation. UNN Field Messenger Ichiro reports that eating fish like tuna can expose people to high toxin levels.
Hello, this is Field Messenger Ichiro reporting for United Network News from Tokyo, Japan. 皆さんは除草剤による海洋汚染を認識していますか？さまざまな農薬の中でも除草剤は最も猛毒で、地球上で最も毒性の強い化学物質と言えます。殺虫剤と除草剤は別のものです。殺虫剤の使用で農産物が枯れてしまうことはありません。しかし除草剤はすべてを枯らしてしまう強力な毒薬です。その大元はベトナム戦争時にアメリカ軍によって使用された枯葉剤です。ベトナムの多くの人々やアメリカの機関兵が戦争終結後も枯葉剤の後遺症に苦しみました。世界中の陸地でまかれた除草剤は川に流れ込み、当然のことながら世界中の海洋を汚染しています。海洋生態系の最下層に位置する海藻類は安全ですが、その毒は魚介類の体に蓄積されるのです。そして小さいものから順に、海の食物連鎖の頂点に近づくほどに生物濃縮という現象によってその体に毒が蓄積されていきます。大型回遊魚であるマグロなどが最も危険な魚です。ある指揮者はマグロの刺身一切れで3年分の無農薬生活が帳消しになるくらい危険なレベルなのだと言っています。除草剤による海洋汚染の危険については過去にも多くの学者が語ってきていますが、マスメディアは決してこのことには触れません。しかしマスメディアが報道しないからといってその事実が存在しないというわけではなく、ご存知の通りむしろその逆のケースが非常に多いのが世界の現状です。もし視聴者が漁業関係者であったり、魚を販売する店で働いていたり、魚料理を提供するレストランで働いている場合は、この情報はとてもショッキングかもしれません。しかし現実から目を背けても状況は悪化するだけです。視聴者の中には、そんなことは信じられないと思う人もあるでしょう。しかし、がんの最大の原因が除草剤である可能性も大いにあると私は思っています。30年前は寿司はどちらかというと高級料理でした。今では日本中至るところに大衆向けの寿司レストランがあり、スーパーマーケットでも寿司は売られています。そしてメディアは日本人の3人に1人はがんになるリスクがあると当たり前のように報道します。これらすべては DS が仕掛けた一つのビジネスモデルなのではないかと私は疑っています。皆さんには今すぐに魚介類を食べることをやめるようお勧めします。そして人々が安心して魚介類を食べるためには今すぐ除草剤の製造、販売と使用を止める必要があることに思い至っていただきたいのです。This is Field Messenger 一郎Reporting for United Network News from Tokyo, Japan. Thank you for watching.
UNN Field Messenger CJ shares a recipe for a healthy alternative to traditional peanut brittle. She uses organic seeds, nuts, honey, and chia seeds for a sweet, salty, and protein-packed treat.
Hi everyone, This is CJ, Field Messenger for United Network News from Goffstown, New Hampshire. Today I'm going to show you a healthy alternative that I make for peanut brittle. Peanut brittle is typically a sweet brittle that is made with peanuts, some salt, and usually fructose or corn syrup. Today we're going to make ours with some organic sesame seeds, hemp seeds, raw pecans, chia seeds to hold it together, cashews, pumpkin seeds, honey, pollen. I made up the batch of chia seeds because that helps it to stick together, and I added enough water just to make it gelatinous. And then I have here some coarse Celtic salt to make it a little sweet and salty. What I do is I turn the oven on 320 degrees, and I just start throwing things into the big bowl here and mixing it up. I'm just guesstimating. I probably put about 3/4 cup of pecans, and I have about a cup of cashews, about a half a cup of pumpkin seeds, and that'll be my seeds and nut brittle. So I just poured in about 1/4 of the jar of the gelatinous chia seeds and about a cup of honey. I don't particularly like the consistency it is right now because it's a little too wet. If you make it a little too watery, I found out that it comes out a little more chewy gooey. So if you like chewy gooey, this is a great consistency right here. This is the consistency that I like. It makes it more brittly. It kind of just falls off the spoon, but it's not so watery. I ended up adding about 1/4 more cup of the cashews and the pecans. So I got my bacon cheese and I got some parchment paper on top. I spread this out on the parchment paper, try to make it even as flat as possible. And then I just sprinkled a little extra dried chia seeds on it. So now I'm just going to sprinkle the Celtic salt right on top of it. And I'll be popping this in the oven. And what I do is I flip it about every 20 minutes, maybe a couple times until it gets golden brown. It doesn't flip that well. It's not like it hardens or anything. Breaks up a lot and it looks like it's not going to stick together that great. Now it's completely normal. But I am going to put it in and I'll lower the temperature a little bit. Probably only leave it in for another 15 minutes, let it harden. And then when it gets a little cooler, I'll just add on some bee pollen. So this is all cooled down now. As you can see, it's brittly, it's in chunks. This is such a great dessert. It satisfies the crunchy, it satisfies the salty, the sweet. It's high in protein, high in amino acids, high in fiber. It'll stay in this glass container for days just on the counter. Hope you like learning how to make nuts and seed brittle. This is CJ from United Network News. Have a good night, everyone.
UNN is changing the face of news. Join us for our weekly Field Messenger meetings and learn how you can make a difference. Visit unitednetwork.earth for more information. Thanks for watching.